This is gonna be a bit of a hard video to make because I'm just gonna speak my heart. Sometimes people mistake my straightforwardness for hate. I am not good at rainbows and butterflies, and a lot of people, when they like something, they assume that you have to be rainbows and butterflies about it to truly like it. This whole video is me not being rainbows and butterflies, but me expressing my appreciation for this patch cycle in a way that comes naturally to me, and also as a video evidence, as a chapter, as a point where I took the time to stand here and deliberately say, outside of review videos, outside of places where this could be missed, that this was a great patch. We're standing in front of blue pools. This is not too far away from the healing grounds. There's the black sun behind us, and the feeling that I get when I stand and stare at something like this is the kind of bittersweet feeling that I tend to get in an MMOs where a really good expansion pack is ending. You're standing and you're staring at environment that meant something to you. You go through your experiences, the events that have happened while you were in this patch cycle. You look and stare and you know that what's in the future is not for you to know, but you know that this was a great patch. And you don't know how many great patches there are in the future. Whenever you climb to the top of the mountain, there's always the chance that there won't be another mountain higher to climb again. There's always a chance that everything else will pale in comparison from this point on. There's always a chance that this was the best time that you had with the game that you loved. And this is the feeling that 2.5 is giving me. And it's incredible because it's not butterflies and rainbows. It's not the feeling of anticipation. I think I'm bad at those. I think I am bad. A genuine, incredible excitement. But what I can recognize is the moments that have wowed me. What I can recognize is when the times have been good. I know that I wallow in the sad side of things, sometimes perhaps a little too much. So perhaps the bittersweetness of knowing that this was a great patch and that we might not get another patch as good as this one is the overpowering emotion for me. But once again, what it stresses is that this was a great patch. I don't know how 2.6 will go, how 2.7 will go, how 3.0 will feel. But this not only reminded me why I loved Infinity Nikki to begin with, it elevated the experience. 2.5, story and environment wise, was everything that I could have ever wanted. 2.5, story and environment wise, was absolutely perfect. I would rank this above 1.0 even. And it's such a bizarre thing to say because I don't think that I ever stood on this mountain hill for Infinity Nikki yet, thinking that this was a great patch. I don't think that any other patch has given me as much emotional impact that my view would shift like this, except those few times when I recognize having the exact same feeling in some expansion packs, in some games. The thing is, that feeling is normally only living in my memory. And from that point on, in other games, there were ups and downs, but whenever I had that feeling, it stuck with me. It lives rent-free in my mind. It reminds me of the timeline. It puts a flag inside a time in my whole life where I existed, where I was sitting and thinking, this was a great patch. And that's what I'm feeling right now. I don't know if there's another mountain hill that we're gonna climb. And boy, I wish that this was like this during 1.5 and not 2.5. Because we had a questionable year. We had a questionable journey getting from 1.0 to 2.5, and yet all of this pales in comparison to me just taking the time right now to think that this was a great patch. If you have left during 1.5 disaster, if you have found 2.0 to be uninteresting and unimpressive and quite mediocre compared to 1.0, I implore you, try 2.5 because it was a great patch. I don't know where the future will take us, but for one last time, for the people in the back, for the people that need to hear this, and for the people that think that I don't love this medium that I engage with day in and day out, for all of those people out there, this was a great patch. This was a great patch, and it deserves its own send-off. So thank you, Infinity Nikki 2.5, for giving me a little slice of heaven. For giving me melancholy, for giving me a dramatic storyline, for giving me characters that I could engage with and care about. For tackling the themes indirectly, such as migraines, incurable diseases, shrinking population size, dying group of people, reincarnation, the ones that ferry souls, and even in one of the quests, I swear, you touched upon dementia. Thank you for tackling all of that. Thank you for writing stories which I cared about. Thank you for writing side quests which I cared about. Thank you for providing such good lore in this game that I stood there and read every single bit of it, which has not happened in a long, long while. I hope when I stand on this cliff right now that this is not our Mount Everest. I hope that this is a sign of great things to come. But even if this was our Mount Everest, even if there's not another peak higher than this, it bears repeating, this was a great patch. And thank you so much to Infold, to all of the people that have enjoyed it, to the Infinity Nikki community, for being here through it together. Let's remember it as a high point and let's immortalize it as a high point, and let's repeat in unison that this was a great patch. Just in case this is our peak, this bears remembering. This should be pinned there as the pinnacle of Infinity Nikki, and let's hope that that gets stopped, and if it doesn't, then you know what, good enough, because this was a great patch. So this is my send-off. This is my send-off, and this is a vocal reminder that I loved this experience. I emotionally loved this experience. I emotionally loved this environment and the dresses that you provided. The legendary dress is very beautiful, by the way. I loved the journey that we have had here. I loved the experience that we have had here, and it invigorated me, and I hope for more. But if I don't get it, then at the very least, I'll have this at the back of my mind to come back to, because this was a great patch. So thank you for watching. Here's to better future. No matter you need this in your real life or in game, here's to a better future. Let's hope for many more great times to enjoy. Let's hope that the journey doesn't peak here but continues going uphill. Let's hope that this is just a sign of things to come. Thank you for joining me through it. Thank you so much to my Patreon supporters. And once more, this was a great patch. And toodaloo for now.